everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up today, it's a season of Thanksgiving. In these United States.
We here in the US of A give thanks once a year. We don't like to do it more than once. It feels like much.
It's a little, it's excessive.
To whom? Maybe we'll discuss to whom we give thanks as atheists, because, not God.
No.
But anyway.
We can get into that, sure.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that holiday.
Yeah.
And its origins and etc.
That'd be a good thing. All right. Well, coming up first, Dan.
Yeah.
Here's a little update on an ongoing issue of serious concern.
Oh dear.
It's has to do with female genital mutilation.
Yikes.
Not
a fun topic.
Not a fun topic.
Great way to open a show.
And please hang on, everyone. Right. A study has been released that finds a huge fall in female genital mutilation rates.
Oh.
In throughout the parts of Africa where this was practiced.
Oh, good.
Or it continues to be practiced. Let's be clear about this. This is a huge fall in numbers. Pretty significant numbers. For example, the overall the prevalence rate dropped in East Africa from 71% of girls under 14 in 1995.
Wow.
To 8% in 2016.
Holy shit, that is a very significant drop.
It's a crazy drop. That's East Africa. In North Africa, the rate fell from almost 60% in 1990 to 14% in 2015.
These are great numbers.
In West Africa, the numbers fell from 74% of girls in 1996 to 25% in 2017.
Less of a great drop, but still amazing.
Well, from 74 to 25.
That's amazing.
A lot of women are being spared this horror.
Yeah.
And is quite impressive.
For those who don't know, I'm guessing most of our listeners are aware, but for those who don't know, this is a practice that is more cultural than anything, but tied in sometimes to Islam.
Correct.
The practice of Islam, and it is a practice that is not done by doctors or anything like that.
No.
It is done mostly actually, I think, by women of the community.
It is. They're called cutters. And
the Jews had the good sense to give them the name moil when they wanted to mutilate genitals.
And that is a picture of a woman holding the device that they use,
which is just a razor blade.
It's just a razor blade.
Nothing. Yeah.
So
it's a horrific practice. Like we
don't need to get into the full
young girls
details,
are fully awake and aware.
Oh yeah.
During the process, and it's not good.
Yeah. But nonetheless, now, why have these numbers dropped? International pressure is being. There's a lot of international aid groups that are doing education and whatnot in throughout the regions that we're talking about.
Well, it's got to be effective to talk to a mother and say to her, this thing that traumatized you, you actually don't have to do that to your daughter.
Yeah,
and it's
cultural things can be hard to shift like that. There is some question about these numbers. These are obviously self-reported.
Right.
They're asking mothers about their daughters.
Right.
And because of these education events and the educational efforts that have been going on, there is some suspicion that the mothers may be reporting differently than actually may or may not have happened. And that, who knows what percentage of that is, but it does say that there's pressure.
Right.
And there is some, cognitive dissonance going on.
And they must
within these women's minds.
And if they're aware of the pressure And if they're if they feel shame about it, to the point where even if they did it to their daughter, they wouldn't say it, it means that something's getting through.
Shifting.
And there's a cultural shift occurring.
There is something shifting. And then the other thing that is important to also point out is that the study just looked at girls under the age of 14.
Oh, okay.
Some communities do perform it on teens, and some also do it in the lead up to, in preparation for marriage.
Okay. Oh my God. Can there be a worse way to prep somebody for marriage?
I don't know. I honestly,
that's just the worst.
It's truly horrible. The other thing is, and I just want to say it, this article, in the headline even, it says FGM.
Yeah.
Cute little abbreviation for female genital mutilation. I think you should have to say it every single time.
Okay. I don't know that cute is the word for it.
To deal with with recognizing it every single time. Because it's a horror. It's a true horror.
Yeah.
And FGM sounds like, I don't know, some brand of cornflakes or something.
It sounds like an acronym.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not 100% with you on that, because in my mind that 3-letter abbreviation conjures up horrors. So the association works for me. But okay, I hear you.
I'm just saying.
You are just saying.
I don't like nicknames. I'm joining the LDS Church on this one. I'm joining.
Which church are you joining?
Joining ranks with.
Sorry, which church?
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
Because I don't like nicknames.
Because you kind of undercut your own idea there.
They've been known as the LDS Church for a long time.
All right. I'm going to take us to Greece, actually. I don't know if you're aware, but Greece has had a long and storied history with the Orthodox Christian Church. Greek Orthodoxy is a big deal. To the point where Greek Orthodox priests in Greece are state employees.
No, they aren't.
Yes.
No.
100%.
What?
Have been for a very long time.
That's bullshit.
10,000 priests, all on the government books. What? No,
this is complete and utter bullshit.
Well, it's true, but it's ending.
Oh.
So.
Oh, no, that's sad. That just seems like the end of an era.
Don't flip on me like that. You may not, sir. No, their current prime minister, Alexis Tsipras, is an atheist, apparently, and has promised to try and make their government more secular. And one of the things that he's done, now don't get too excited, because though they're no longer going to be state employees, they will come off of the payroll. The state will still be paying their wages. It will just be in the form of a lump sum given to the church. Basically, an annual subsidy of around 200 million euro.
Oh my God.
Which is sort of 230 million American dollars. So
I suppose it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're baby stepping it. But it does mark the Greek Orthodox, the sort of decline of influence that the church has on the state. And I think people are largely okay with it. Not everybody is happy about it. A former education minister in the prime minister's party is unhappy that the priests are getting their money. So that's one thing. Because you would think that the dominating church of the society can make its own money.
Yeah,
but
they should be able to.
I mean, I actually don't have this at my fingertips, but I'm guessing that they're like a lot of European countries that take tithes in the form of taxes and then remit them to churches. And you have to sort of opt out. You have to actually opt out in order not to do that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the case here. But, slow and steady is the only way that government works, if it ever works at all. So it's
what a thing, though.
But I mean,
direct employees of the state. That's just absurd.
Pupils at Greek schools still start their day with a prayer, and they are taught religion all throughout their 12-year education. Greek courts still hang
Apollo and Zeus.
You wish. Wouldn't that be great? Greek courts still have religious iconography in the hanging above their judges, that sort of thing.
Greece. Come on, Greece.
So
you used to do everything so right.
Well,
that whole democracy thing.
Right. But yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that one of the things that's driving this is, of course, that Greece's economy has been wrecked for the last many, many years. And they're looking for ways to they have this bloated public sector with far too many employees. And now 10,000 of them are off the books.
Well, at least there's that, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird time in our world's history.
Letting them, or forcing them to fend for themselves. Dear God, how horrible.
Wouldn't that be awful?
A clergy having to find his way in the world.
Oh, it's such a sad
lost priest.
Now it's starting to sound like you're pitching a pilot for a TV show. It's a priest. He's lost his job. And now he has to wander the world.
Fighting crime in his own special way.
Saving people from...
Fighting crime and saving souls.
From their clergyless lives. I'm going to clergy at you now.
Goes from town to town. It's a little bit the Hulk.
Yeah.
A little bit
touched by an angel. Yeah. It's wait.
Little Father Downing mysteries.
Hang on. The Hulk meets Touched by an Angel. I think we've hit on something big.
Roma Downey just get, you won't like me if I'm angry.
Which I would believe her. She said that to me. I would believe her.
That made me really laugh.
I'm an angel. I will destroy and or save you. Roma smash.
That's wretched.
So stupid. Who's the other lady on that show?
Oh, I can't remember.
The Irish one or whatever her name is?
I can't remember her name. It's been such a long time.
We need a skinny Irish Hulk too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we need.
Just to make it all
in our lives
a little less racist, I suppose. And sizist. All right. Let me see if I can shift over to another story.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Maybe I'll go something really serious.
Oh God.
No, I don't even have anything. All right, Dan, down in Texas. Here's a little tidbit about Texans.
Okay.
Texans, they're just like us, right?
Hell, some of our listeners may even be Texans.
They like to, do things like getting married.
Okay, sure.
And they're doing this thing that so many people are doing these days. Of they want a friend
to marry,
or somebody, not the clergy.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but Texas law actually limits the whole marrying
who can officiate
game to judges and clergy.
Sure,
there's no other option.
Okay,
right. And
not even a justice of the peace. Or did they count as judges?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just skip that.
But I don't know that they do. But anyway, there's a lawsuit right now.
Sure.
Happening. 2 Texans have filed a lawsuit in conjunction with the Center for Inquiry which is a nonprofit that seeks to foster a secular society.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
They're saying that the clergy requirement violates the First Amendment by creating a government-sponsored preference for religion over non-religion.
I think they're right. I mean, most states have such laws.
Yeah.
And the workaround has long been that you go online and you sign up for, you sign up for a clergydom from one of the bullshit online religions that's a real religion by
legal standards only.
Right.
Something like the Universal Life Church.
Sure. Or the Church of Dudism.
Is that one?
Yeah.
Well, you can pay for and receive an honorary religious degree for as little as $13.99.
Yep.
From Universal Life, or you can get the hand-lettered Doctor of Divinity degree for $19.99.
I've been considering getting that. We should get those and hang them on the wall here.
We should, Dan. That's an excellent idea.
Just so that we're divine doctors.
Yeah, let's do it. So anyway, the easy workaround. You get online, you pay a little fee, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah.
Right? But the problem is still that you're working under this...
a bullshit law
that it is unfair.
Yeah.
It is a violation of the First Amendment.
Absolutely.
So if they actually succeed in getting the Texas law declared unconstitutional, the lawsuit seeks a federal court order allowing Center for Inquiry trained secular celebrants to perform weddings in Texas.
Great.
So,
I mean, they should do that I'm sure they're looking into a national sort of thing because it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's like,
well, I think this is federal court.
Yeah.
So if they take it all the way to the Supreme Court,
then it would apply everywhere.
Everywhere.
It is so funny. Like why do we care about who performs a marriage? Why do we care about performing of a marriage at all? There are states, I know Colorado, for instance, where Andrea and I got married. Mm-hmm. You can just sign the paperwork and then you're married.
Right.
You don't need an officiant.
Right. Why would it's ridiculous.
It is a legal arrangement.
Yeah.
Why should I need someone to officiate that?
Right.
But most places need it.
Right. It's just about the institutionalization of
religion.
Religion.
Yeah.
That's
all that is.
That's all it is. Period.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple.
Well, I'll tell you, I've got an update to, speaking of atheists performing marriages, I got an update to a case that we talked about a while back. I don't remember when. I didn't bother to look it up. But you'll recall that there was a United Church minister in Canada who she came out as not believing in God. Mm-hmm. She is an atheist. Mm-hmm. But she's been a minister in the United Church for, however long, and does not want to give up that job.
Well, it's a good job.
It's a good job. She's paid her dues.
Why should she have to give up her job preaching the gospel, teaching about Jesus,
just because
she doesn't believe it?
In Jesus. So interestingly, there was a lawsuit that was going forward to try and defrock her. This is Reverend Greta Vosper.
A lawsuit to defrock her. Okay.
Basically, she was trying to stay in, and they were trying to not keep her in. And oddly, it's over.
What do you mean?
They settled. She's staying.
Okay.
She wants to establish a congregation where she doesn't talk about God.
Okay.
Where it's not about that. And it looks like she's going to have the opportunity to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah. She was ordained all the way back in 93. She's 60 years old now.
Okay.
And has served as a minister since 97.
She sounds like a pistol.
Yeah. Most of her current congregants are apparently supportive of her views, but some have been critical. Here's what's interesting.
But is this a Christian church?
Yeah. But I'll bet this could happen. I'll bet this could happen all over the world. I'll bet you anything that, and you go into any sort of non-explosive type church, like I'm not talking about your evangelical Christians who are like screaming and hollering all the time about Jesus.
Okay.
I'm talking about your mellow church. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'll bet in congregations all over the world, if the pastor got up and said, you know what? I believe in so much of the things that I've been talking about. I believe in love of your fellow man. I believe in treating each other right. I believe in all of these things. But I don't believe in God. I don't believe that there's anyone magic watching over us. I'll bet they could keep a significant portion of their congregants, because most of them don't. They haven't been thinking about it, and they'd have to go through some, like, they'd get rock and rolled for a minute. But I think a lot of people go to church just because you're supposed to go to church, and you're just chilling, you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing. The number of atheists in the pews is high enough. Agnostics is even higher. Mm-hmm. And then, like, just people who haven't even bothered to think about it but still like going to church every week or feel they should go to church every week is even higher. I'll bet they could keep a significant portion of their congregants. If they handled it well. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't want...
Yeah. I mean, it might make for a nice change, for people who've been hearing about Jesus for a while.
Yeah.
Right. Like, maybe we could just give that a rest for a minute.
Imagine how much more interesting church gets when you don't have to tie yourself into the one book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got one book. If you can just open the floor to the entire world of philosophical and spiritual thought, you got a lot more going on. You got a much more interesting church service every week.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Interesting, Dan.
I used to really I would go every now and then to the Unitarian Universalist Church here in Salt Lake.
UUs.
And he'd bring in Thoreau, and he'd bring you'd get thinkers and poets and all of this other stuff. It's so much more interesting. It was so much better than,
So they're preaching humanism.
Yeah.
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 Over the pulpit. Mm-hmm. Why not?
They're not that into Jesus over there. I mean, he's cool.
How dare they? How dare they?
They keep doing things like taking him out of
looks
Christmas
like a church.
songs.
Yeah. It looks like a church.
Right. Yeah. The first time I went to a Christmas celebration at the UU was delightful.
Yeah.
Because they're like, open your hymn book to page Joy to the World or whatever, and then you're singing, and you know all the words, but you still look, and you're like, Joy to the world. The word is word. What?
What word?
The word. Well, everybody knows
a lot of words.
Everybody knows that the bird is the word.
Uh-oh.
I said a bird.
Yeah. We're aware, Dan.
Yeah.
We already know.
And also, I can't sing long enough that it would be a copyright infringement. So
yeah,
that was good. I think that was as much
good.
as I could do.
Right. Okay.
Otherwise, I would have really enjoyed annoying you with that song.
Thank you, copyright.
Right? Sometimes the law is helpful.
Thank you, amazingly litigious industry.
Right?
All right. Dan, here's a very interesting tidbit coming to us from Scotland.
Oh, how exciting.
They have just recently started requiring that all schools will include curriculum on lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and intersex rights and activism.
What?
All of
That's
those
nutty.
will be included. They will be taught in history, and in whatever curriculum, or whatever topic it is appropriate to bring it into the curriculum.
Social studies type
Social studies or whatever, right?
Interesting.
It will include LGBTI identities and terminologies, the history of the LGBTI movements, and ways to recognize and tackle homophobia, biphobia, and transphobia.
Huh.
There will be no exemptions or room to opt out in the policy. It is required.
Something is going on in Scotland. I like it. They had a recent, I think it was Scotland that had the ad campaign that was just like, that was basically attacking this from a cultural perspective. That was just like, hey, here in Scotland, you know what we don't do? We don't do homophobia. It was like this cool, they were more cleverer than what I just did.
Right.
But like they did that, they had an ad campaign about it.
That's not who we are.
Yeah.
No true Scotsman.
Well, it does have a very interesting problem with when you've got a whole logical fallacy named after you.
Well, they're just especially good at it.
Yeah, exactly. What an interesting thing. Hadn't thought of that. But yeah, and Ireland's doing interesting shit too.
Really?
Oh my God, Ireland is I mean, we've talked about it some, but like, you know, they're getting rid of their blasphemy laws. They're getting rid of their. I mean, the Pope showed up, and the rest of them were like, "Nah, fuck it, we don't need you anymore."
Wow.
They're doing. You know, they got rid of their ban on abortion.
Wow.
Something is brewing.
What is going on
among the Gaels and Celts, or whatever?
Something's going right.
Yeah, I like it.
We should look into that.
I'm moving.
See if we can get some of that exported over to here.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to bring a bunch of... Hey, there's more people in the U.S. who claim to be Scottish than in Scotland.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
maybe we can make it happen.
Yeah, just be the whole, you know, the Scottish don't do this.
Yeah. You know what? Scots aren't homophobes.
Yeah.
And then all of the Americans who claim, you know, who love, you know, Scottish Highland games or whatever go,
don't tell me how to Scottish.
Yeah, but maybe that might confuse them enough. Like, dude, you're wearing a skirt right now. You can't be a homophobe.
Oh, wow.
You see what I did there?
Well, that's rough.
Turned it on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, I'm going to take us to North Carolina, where only good things happen in the world. In Mitchell County, North Carolina, where a group of a very bad thing happened.
Oh no.
Theater
occurred. Bad theater?
Well, I cannot judge that, for I did not see the production.
Oh, okay.
But there was a school production.
So bad theater.
Or a group from I guess it was performed at a school by a group from Parkway Playhouse in Burnsville.
Okay.
That did, it's called The Complete Works of William Shakespeare Abridged.
Oh,
which is a hilarious romp.
Okay.
It's just a goof.
Okay.
It's farce. They just go through, and literally it is what it sounds like. They take Shakespearean plays, boil them down to their tiniest, you know, sort of plot points, and present them hilariously.
Okay.
Usually done, I think, by 3 actors.
Okay.
But it's a goof. Well, it's outrageous is what it is. Because these parents...
What?
They heard about inappropriate content, and they were outraged. Apparently, they were really mad about it portraying drinking.
Oh, no.
And suicide, which sounds bad, but have you read Romeo and Juliet? Because that's what happens.
Right.
And if it's in a goofball context, what the fuck are you on about? Well, let me tell you something.
Uh-oh.
This required more than just outrage. This required a group of parents getting together and praying over it.
Like praying about whether they should do it? Like, Lord, give us an answer?
Nope, they had a prayer meeting after the play was performed to, I don't know, maybe praying that Jesus will strike down those evil actors or whatever.
So maybe demons out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm shocked about this, to be perfectly honest, because it is such a harmless, stupid play.
Okay.
It is, and they, you know, they are not tackling the AIDS crisis of the 80s here. We are not tackling homophobia. We're not, you know what I mean? Like, this is not an abortion play.
Right.
There's no controversy here. I'm 1,000% sure these same fucking parents would be okay with an actual production of Romeo and Juliet.
Well, yeah. Because they would have been asleep or have left by the time it gets to anything good.
Exactly. Or they wouldn't have understood the words enough to know.
Right.
I'm 1,000% sure they would be fine with that. But when you make it goofy and you just be like, I killed myself. I killed myself too. Then they're mad.
Don't you think, though, that maybe it's making light of suicide? And that's something that nobody should ever do.
Shut up. No, it's so stupid. It is amazing to me. I'm genuinely like, they are just looking for things to be mad about at this point.
Okay.
They hadn't had a thing to be like morally outraged by at the schools lately, and they needed something.
What feels different this year? I don't know, it's been so peaceful.
I'm just itching.
Really...
I'm itching. Something's itchy.
Oh, Janet. Oh, watch out, everybody.
Oh, Janet's on a tear. She'll find it.
Yeah.
She's going to go school by school.
There's something. I know I can find something to be outraged about.
God damn it, Janet. Oh, well, there you go. She found it, and they had to have a pray about it.
Yeah.
So there you go. So, I mean, they're literally just trumping shit up at this point. Well, there you go, kids. If you have something that you need to have a pray about, you can tell us about it. Podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you could call and leave the voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yes, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and click on that like button.
And while there, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group, but, we'll let you in.
And you have to behave yourselves, but... yeah, we want you there.
Yeah, and then you also have to behave yourself over on Reddit, reddit.com/r/TGIAtheist.
Correct.
Dan!
You know what? Roma Downey is the Irish woman.
Shut up.
Della Reese was the black woman. So we were getting them
confused.
Oh,
no, Dan. So this is a little correction? Is that what you
Yeah,
just did
I'm just
there?
going back and we're talking about the whole touched by an angel Hulk thing. I need both of them to Hulk out.
But Della Reese.
I need Della and I need Roma.
Yeah.
I need both.
Both.
I'm just saying.
Well, cool. All right. Well, Dan, we have a little bit of audio that we're going to play.
Yeah, what we had was an election here in these United States. You may have heard about it.
Sure.
And we had people making predictions on all sides of this thing.
Yeah.
And we didn't play it, but Mark Taylor, the firefighter prophet.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. I like that guy.
He's a firecracker is what he is.
And also quite the prophet.
Oh, well,
he's really good at it.
He makes a lot of prophecies. So if that's what you mean, then yes. I mean, when you're talking volume, he's one of the top guys out there.
The Lord's a talking and Mark Taylor's a listening.
So he's going to be talking to us now about, here's the thing. A lot of people in this country predicted a blue wave, meaning Democrats voting a lot. And there was a wave. It wasn't a tidal wave. It wasn't a giant wave, but there was a blue wave. We took over the House.
It was more than a ripple.
It was, yes, exactly. He had prophesied that there would be no blue wave, that there would be a red tsunami.
Ah, yes, indeed.
And literally what he was saying was, of course, that the Republicans would take over everything even more than they already had.
Right, because that's what the good Lord is up to.
That's what the Lord told him.
Yeah.
Unless you ask him now. And then he meant something totally different. And here's what he meant.
All right, let's hear it.
What does it take to create a tsunami? It takes an earthquake. And here again, now, this is where God's saying, this election is not over. This red tsunami's got to be started by an earthquake. We had the red wave. The earthquake was Sessions stepping aside. The delay is over, man. They're going after these people hard. Now, I've been saying, even on your show for 2 years, I've been saying the mass arrest. I've been saying verbatim on your show is that the army of God better get ready to take their place when these vacancies through these mass arrests happen, because there's going to be a ton of job openings in D.C. That's the tsunami. It's all, the rumblings of the earthquake are already started when Sessions was moved out, and now we've got a new prosecutor coming in, our attorney general, and so this is what's going to start the earthquake, and the tsunami is going to happen when the mass arrests take place. That's the red tsunami right there. I am not going to back off this red tsunami thing because I know what God told me. I know the tsunami is coming. This is all part of it. And so I am not going to apologize for something that God did. So people want to sit there and they want to criticize. And it's like, you don't understand what you're talking about because you're not seeing the big picture right now. So, and the big picture is that any prophetic person will tell you that they live way out here on the edge and they're constantly seeing the full picture. And they're over here trying to tell the people, hey, come over here. I need you to see this. And when people attack you like this, it's because they're operating from a point of intellect. They're not operating in the spirit. This is not where God doesn't operate in the natural. They're prognosticating. They're basing their facts on what they see in the natural with their natural eyes. That's not where God operates. God operates in the spiritual realm, and that's where people get it wrong.
See, Frank, the problem is that you were looking at it with your intellect.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. By the way, this wave of arrests that he kept talking about, the arrests are coming,
Yeah.
What he's talking about is prior prophecies that he made about Donald Trump arresting thousands of people in and around D.C., including Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, as part of a massive global pedophile ring. So that's...
Oh, yeah, he's into that thing.
The pizza thing didn't work out.
Right.
They were a step ahead of him on the pizza restaurant. But it's somewhere. And Donald Trump is going to arrest everybody. And Sessions, I don't know how Sessions stepping away starts the earthquake that maybe Jeff Sessions was standing in the way of arresting all of these pedophiles.
He was the Dutch boy with his finger in the dike.
He
was holding it all back.
Yeah.
It took little Jeff Sessions.
Little Jefferson Beauregard.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I think he's good at the prophesizing thing. And the reason I say that is he knows how to deal with the revisions that you have to do when you're wrong, right? He knows how to double down and say, no, that's not exactly what I was saying.
It was very clearly not wrong.
The Lord never wrong.
It was very clearly correct.
Yeah,
just differently correct than he thought he was correct before.
Right. Yeah, I mean the Lord, when the Lord speaks, it's not really, in English,
and it's not intellectual, guys.
You feel it. It's kind of a garbled mess, and you gotta work your way through it.
Look, he's out there on the fringes looking at the big picture. Yeah. We're like idiots, just analyzing the things that he's saying,
right,
and then asking ourselves, did it come true or not?
Right? No,
like,
you can't think. No,
that's not how you do this.
Faulty thinking.
That's not how you do this, you dum-dums.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah.
All right, we had some people call into us, write into us. While you're pulling up on the voicemails, I'll start in with a email that we got. This is from Chris. This is in reference to an ongoing conversation that we're having about religious iconography in various parks here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And we had mentioned Gilgal Garden.
I know,
which is our favorite place, and it's just this delightful thing. And I think we can justify it as an art thing, even though the city runs it. I personally am comfortable with that, but it is a little problematic because it's so much religious stuff in a city-run park. Well, here's what Chris had to say. Hi, Frank and Dan. I was listening to your latest episode, and during your discussion of religious symbols in parks, my mind immediately went to Gilgal even before you brought it up. And honestly, my first instinct was a fear that if any action were taken against the Salt Lake Parks Department, we would lose the only known Joseph Smith Sphinx in the world.
Right.
Because yes, the prominent art piece in this whole thing is a Sphinx with Joseph Smith's face on it.
Right.
It's fucking brilliant.
And it's quite large.
Yeah. I mean, not Sphinx large.
No, it's not.
But like
Egyptian monument size.
No. I just want to make sure that the scale is not overblown. But it's big, and and it's amazing.
You couldn't lift it by yourself.
No. It's like lion sized is really what it is. Like it's a lion's body with a giant Joseph Smith face on it for no reason. Wearing an Egyptian headdress, which it makes it so much better. Chris goes on. I would like to propose a different solution to this problem, though, that I think can satisfy all parties. We keep Gilgal as the only public space with religious symbols, and place it, and in place of the other statuary we remove from the city parks, we place a plaque directing people to Gilgal. If not this, maybe we could just petition the city to start including pictures of the Joseph Smith Sphinx on all their promotional material, because seriously, everyone should see that at least once in their lifetime.
Oh my God.
Love the show. Keep up the good work. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it is part of Salt Lake's artistic heritage, and therefore can be justified in that way. It wasn't placed there into an existing park. It was an existing thing. Yeah. That we know.
That felt that there was a group formed called Friends of Gilgal or something like that. And they, they basically orchestrated it being transferred from private hands into city hands.
Right.
And in an effort to preserve it, because it was just kind of somebody's backyard. Mm-hmm. And with a little side access thing.
Yeah.
And so if who was going to preserve this and keep it and maintain it? That there was nobody who was going to do it.
Yeah,
so
I have no problem
to the city.
It's a cultural and artistic landmark. It's not.
Well, it's barely a religious expression, even though there's a lot of religion around it. It's really a strange place, and it's you have to go there to kind of understand what we're talking about.
No Mormon would recognize their religion in that place.
No.
Even though
there's like quotations from the Book of Mormon, and there's even a granite Book of Mormon carved out, right?
Yeah, it's got again, Joseph Smith prominently placed, but no Mormon would be like, oh, there's my religion. Right. I see it.
Right.
They'd all be like, what the crackpot is this?
Because it is.
It is.
It's just a crackpot's creation.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway,
it's delightful.
Through a strange twist of events, is managed by the city. All right. Well, I have a voicemail that is a response to a story that we did recently about the library in Iowa, a small town in Iowa, where somebody decided he was going to burn a bunch of books. Well, anyway, here's just a caller responding to that.
Right.
Hi, Frank and Dan. This is Warren from Southern California. I just wanted to say how much I loved your show, and I really appreciate you talking about the Iowa library that had its 3 or 4 or 5 LGBT books burned. Just wanted to really thank you for mentioning it, because I own a comic book store, and we have quite an extensive LGBT section, so I know who I'm donating to. I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great show. Bye.
Well, that's delightful.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
I really, really hope that particular library is just inundated with donations of LGBTQ books.
Well, we should look up their address and post it online.
Because I think, what would be fantastic, maybe in the show notes or something.
Yeah.
Maybe what would be fantastic is if they just suddenly have the largest LGBTQ section in the in the surrounding states.
Oh yeah.
In the Midwest's largest LGBTQ collection.
Well, I'm sure just with our listeners alone, we could get a very, very nice library.
Can you do a registry for subversive donations? Because that would be delightful.
That would be.
And we don't want them to get all the same books, 500 times over. We want a variety. A melange.
Well, then they can send them out to their sister libraries.
Sure, that's true. That's true.
You know, because I'm sure there's probably some association. And
anyway, So send books to that library. All right. Was there another voicemail?
There is. This is from somebody who has a question about how to handle sort of the impulse to believe in like supernatural things.
Supernatural, sure, yeah.
So let's just have a listen.
Hi there. My name's John. So I had something happen to me, which I could only find to speak about it in, religious terminology, something I'm not really a big fan of. But it was essentially that I had like an opportunity pop up, and I got a surprise eviction the day before all of my classes were supposed to start at my last year of university. And so then it seemed kind of like a signal from the universe, I guess, to like go and, pursue this thing, which actually is working out on the political campaign for Kirsten Sinema in Arizona. I just don't know, like, how do I approach, like, things that, seem to have happened to us supernaturally? Like, how do I, like, talk about that to people whenever I'm just, like, in my day-to-day life? You guys seem like you probably have a good perspective on that. But thank you so much for everything, and keep up the good work.
Well, thanks for that. Here's the thing. It reminds me of a moment in my life when I was talking to one of my friends who was one of the wiser people that I've known in my life. And mentioning the fact that it was weird that there are multiple points in my life where I could recall needing something or being ready for something. And it was like the Buddhist saying of when the student is ready, the master appears, sort of thing. And it was one of those moments where it just seemed a little magical that the right person would show up to me at the right moment in my life and be like, hey, I have this perspective, and just change everything for me. And my friend said to me, yeah, that's because the world is actually abundant with useful people. And when you're actually ready for it, it's not that they weren't there before. It's not that these opportunities and these things that happened weren't there before. They were always there. You were just sort of suddenly ready to see and to participate in them. And that changed everything for me. That was like, oh, right. Yeah, there are plenty of ways out there to find fulfillment, to find understanding and stuff. And when you're ready to actually receive it, you will.
Right.
It'll be there. That to me was an interesting perspective on that. Because no, I don't believe that there's any magical universe trying to guide us or help us or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't believe that either. But I also think that we're as sort of pattern seeking little critters.
We are.
And also we're so good at being like right at the middle of our own universe. Right.
Yep.
I'm not saying anything about the caller here, of course.
No.
But just like, like things seem to happen
for us.
Right. Because that's our perspective.
Right.
And so, opportunities come along and the timing seems right and everything. Yeah. It's easy to be like, well, the Lord provideth.
Yeah.
The good Lord provide.
Or if you want to get into a different sort of religious type thinking, magical thinking, I manifested it. I put it out into the universe.
The secret.
And I manifested this thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I would love it if there were magic things.
Oh, yeah, it'd be fun.
It'd be much, the universe would seem more interesting maybe.
Yeah.
If there was magic, it might be more terrifying.
Does it need to be more interesting than it is?
No. Well, I mean,
feel like it's perfectly. It's sort of.
I don't know. The amount of time that I spent in my childhood trying to make the Force a real thing.
Oh, damn.
Reaching out toward a pencil and like, if I just leave it right, it'll come to my hand. No. I will figure it out. Gotta do it. God damn it. If I could fly like Superman, I think if I believe right, I can fly like Superman. Yeah.
This is why you're an atheist.
Well, because I tested a lot of things that didn't work.
And it disappointed you.
Including
the universe
Jesus.
Disappointed you, Dan.
Yeah.
Failed you.
It's a disappointing
The supernatural failed you.
Yeah. So all we got left is the natural. And when you look around, the more you look around at the natural, the more you're like, oh, yeah, that explains all the things.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, really, all it is sort of vibrations and crystals. Right. That make everything happen.
Thank God for crystals. Just got to say that right now.
Yeah, I got some smoky quartz that's saving me from
focus
the universe.
Focus that energy into your life. I do want to say to the caller, good on you for getting out there into the world and getting on some campaigns and doing good work.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Being
involved.
It does seem like his candidate won.
Important.
I think there's still some question, but I think as of right now, it seems like his candidate won.
All right. Sounds great. Yeah. Good. Congratulations.
So...
Oh, no more emails?
No, that's it.
Oh,
that's it.
We've got some people to thank.
We have some folks to thank.
Oh, my God. And did they turn out or did they not?
They did.
They did.
In multiple ways.
Yeah. So why don't you start with yours?
Yeah, we had a few people who decided that their way of giving would not be to do the Patreon campaign, but rather to just do a one-time donation, which is totally acceptable and wonderful. And so we need to thank John for his one-time donation and Lori for her one-time donation. John we'll call him a faithful member, and Lori will call, what's the one up from that?
Venerable.
We'll call Lori Venerable.
All right.
Thank you guys so much.
Right.
For your gifts.
And then over on Patreon, we have 2 new faithful listeners. We have Janet and the Breadbasket Blasphemer.
Oh, yes.
So thank you. And then we have 2 new venerable listeners.
Woohoo!
Kathy and Camilla.
Well,
and so thank you
so much. I'm going to assume that that's Camilla Parker Bowles.
You might be wrong, but assume away. And then, well, I guess we should just kind of explain what these good folks did. They went to our website, thankgodimatheist.com.
Sure.
That's the jumping off point.
Easy
folks.
enough to remember.
Yeah.
Thankgodimatheist.com.
And then you click on the support tab and there's a couple options. And if you want to do a one-time, you can click the PayPal. If you want to do kind of recurring and be part of the ongoing campaign, then you can click on Patreon and become a patron of the show. And both ways are awesome. On Patreon, there are multiple levels at which you can sign up to give, and there's different things that you're going to get back in return, including, but not limited to, the Frank and Dan Diaries.
Yeah.
It's a weekly
bonus recording.
Yeah.
That only patrons get to listen to.
Ooh, doggy.
Hey, is there one more person that we need to thank?
There is one more person. As always, there is our top donor, our Lord and Savior, if you will, Jenny!
Oh, she's a peach, that Jenny. Bless you all. You're wonderful. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Dan.
Yep.
Well, it's the time of the year where our minds turn toward our
Christmas
many
music.
Blessings.
Oh, yeah, okay, that. Okay. So here's the thing. In the United States, I'm sure most of our listeners, even foreign listeners, know we have Thanksgiving.
Right.
It's a holiday.
Yeah.
It's a national holiday.
Yeah.
President Lincoln was the one who made it such.
Really?
Yeah. It's...
I thought it was the Pilgrims.
Right? A little late in the game, America.
Yeah.
Considering that it's a celebration of a 1600s event.
Yeah.
When a bunch of religious nut jobs were too religious-y for England.
Right.
And they left England and went to Holland.
Weren't they also a little too self-righteous?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, we're talking about Calvinists here. We're talking about people who were more Puritan than Puritans.
Right.
And they wanted to have their own way of Jesusing.
Right.
And England was like, no, everybody has to Jesus the same way.
Right.
And they got a little uppity about it and left.
Right.
They took their ball and they went to Holland.
Yeah.
And then...
So a cute little, what'd you say it was? Leiden?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been there.
I've heard of it before. And I
okay.
don't know if I've heard of it in this context, but I feel like it's probably not little anymore. It's probably like a major port city or something, right?
Well, it was big even then. I think
Really?
I think it had 100,000 people then.
What?
So not a small town.
Okay. All right.
But it was known, that area was known for being very accepting of whatever religion you wanted to do, which is less so now. They're actually, because they're they're very secular and they want their society to be very secular.
I thought the Dutch were famously tolerant of things.
I don't know. Right now that don't try to wear a burqa there.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Anyway, then they started to feel like they were going to lose their cultural bent if these British brownists.
Well, the next generation started growing up. Their kids were becoming Dutch.
They're becoming Hollanders.
Yeah.
Hollandaise, if you will.
What a good sauce.
And they so then they had to run away from there because it was too accepting. They were like, "Hey, you're welcome to be here," and everybody's like, "Oh, that's actually really cool." And they were like, "No, nobody's supposed to be cool. We're all supposed to be assholes."
Right.
So they got themselves a boat.
Right.
And they shipped themselves over to these United States, which weren't that then. They were just sort of
colonies.
It wasn't even
Loose
really a
colony.
I mean, loose, sort of, not really even.
Well, there was
colony
a colony down in Virginia.
Yeah.
That was happening.
That was already sort of taking root, and then these guys came.
Boston had not happened at this point, right?
No.
There was just like some fur traders over there.
Yeah. So they land in at Plymouth Rock.
Right.
In Massachusetts. Most of them died the first winter. They did this very badly. But one thing that they did do was they had a corn harvest, and they made some friends with some of the natives for a minute.
Right.
Which is good. And then they invited them to a feast, and 3 days of feasting occurred. Apparently a menu that included seal, lobster, and swan. Now we just do turkey.
Why don't we still? That would be a delightful spread.
Just bring out a swan and a seal.
You have a seal.
Why are we?
And you pose the seal, right?
Yeah.
And you just shave off.
Yeah. What you do is you keep the head and neck so that you can reattach that, feathers and all, to the. You might want to taxidermy a head and neck of a swan.
Right.
And then you attach that to the cooked swan.
And do you put like a apple in the seal's mouth?
Yeah.
Turn it on a spit.
Or a fish.
Fish. That would be more appropriate, wouldn't it?
Seems right for a seal.
I like an apple, though.
Oh, my goodness. So anyway, it was not what we were taught as kids.
No.
And it is sort of the origin story of a nation of Puritans, a nation semi-founded originally by religious, like far fringe nut jobs.
Yeah.
And now we have the United States of America.
Right.
There's a kind of a direct line being drawn there. I'm not. Look, they tried to do away with it. They tried to fix it. The quote-unquote founding fathers, 100 years later, when they were writing a constitution to make this its own country, tried to put up a separation between church and state. And then the Puritans have been trying to dismantle it ever since. Like, they've been working
Puritans. I like how you're just using the phrase or the word to describe the evangelicals and who not.
Aren't they? I mean, there are still Calvinists among the evangelical Christians.
Yeah. But Puritan, it was a very specific thing.
Well, I'm using a catch-all.
Okay. Well, I mean, but you do hear that a lot. You hear people saying that, it's a Puritan nation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or Puritan roots.
Or puritanical.
Puritanical. And
yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know.
I mean, that usually comes up when people are upset about, bikinis being worn at public swimming pools.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
Utahns are good at objecting to.
Right. Or a shoulder happens to be revealed only of a girl at a public high school in Utah or whatever.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what kind of guy is looking at guys' shoulders?
Yeah, that would never happen. It's not a problem if it's a guy. Oh my God. Just quickly tangentially, I saw a headline recently. I didn't actually click through on it, but some girl was apparently got in trouble for wearing a t-shirt that fully covered her shoulders, but had an image of a woman on it whose shoulders were revealed.
Delightful.
They went Inception on it.
Yeah.
It was a shoulder within it was clothing that covered the shoulders but didn't.
Yeah.
Imagery. I don't know.
Oh my God. She got in trouble?
She got in trouble. Amazing.
What?
Amazing.
All right. Well,
So-
back to Thanksgiving.
So here's the thing. We are supposed to have a big meal on this day and then celebrate what we're thankful for. So maybe we should be thankful. We've got a few things to be thankful for recently, I feel like.
Do we?
Well, I feel like the march of nationalism in our country is slowed by a Democratic House.
Sure.
Thankful for that.
We will see.
I didn't say stopped,
Yeah.
but maybe slowed and maybe stopped. I don't know.
I don't think nationalism as an idea has gone away yet.
No.
It's gonna.
But at least policy wise, they won't be able to put into place nationalist policy as easily. Now that we've taken the House, I'm not even a Democrat. I'm just meaning sane people.
All right. Well, okay. So there's that to be thankful for. A little bit a blue wave.
I mean, I'm talking about like the Johnson Amendment might survive. Things in this country that were supposed to be the wall that is supposed to be erected between church and state might survive this current president. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He's trying to chisel away, and the people around him are working tirelessly to chisel away at that wall.
Right.
But maybe it's nice.
I know. I just worry long term that this is the new Republican Party, and this is what we're constantly fighting against.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's anyway. But yes, it's no longer unchecked, and that is something to be thankful for.
Right. So what are you thankful for, Frank?
I'm thankful for a robust military that's going to protect us in these trying times.
Okay. We do have a robust military. I will not argue with you.
Unfortunately, it's not going to protect us from our president.
No, nor the people who actually attack us, who are like religious nut jobs.
Right, and who aren't attacking with militaries.
Yeah, it's not nation states that are attacking the United States.
Well,
right
even
now.
if it is, they're attacking through cyber means.
Right,
They're not
yeah, exactly.
attacking through conventional.
We should send the military into like computer banks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's see. I guess if I had to be thankful of something, it would be things seem to be going okay at Shea Frank,
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a good life.
Yeah.
Got a boyfriend. You got food on the table.
I'm employed. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, why not? That's
Yeah.
good. That's good stuff. I got hobbies that I enjoy.
Yeah.
You've
got a thriving podcast.
thriving podcast.
You got things. Yeah. I don't know. I think the world's not entirely awful.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of good things to be.
We got the weirdest thankful list of thankfulness.
It's been a rough few years.
Yeah,
it's been a rough couple of years.
Yeah.
So
well, when you find yourself at your wife's family this Thanksgiving, and it gets tossed around the table. What are you thankful for? What are you going to say, Dan?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. And here's the other thing is that so many of our listeners this time of year will have to sit around a table where they are the only atheists, or they and their partner maybe are the only atheists. Yeah. And God help them, everybody's just going to be, I'm just so grateful to the Lord Jesus Christ for his blessed atonement and the blood of his sacrifice. And we're all going to have to sit through that shit. Mm-hmm. And then we get to say what we're thankful for, and it's just going to be something nice, like, friends and family and all that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm thankful for a community of friends who I don't have to put up with that shit.
You should, at your in-laws, you should be like, I am thankful for the rising ex-Mormon movement, the CES letter.
Yeah. The fact that more and more people come to their senses every day about religion and the prospect of a supernatural God. I'm
thankful for the fact that Rusty Nelson is shaking that tree and the loose fruit are falling out.
Yeah. I'm
that'd be glorious. You should just see what would happen. Just one of those, not all of them.
Here's what I am thankful for. I am thankful that I am a patient enough person that I can survive all of their bullshit and not have to be a dick about it. Because it wells up in you, that feeling that, I want to be a dick right now. I want to say that thing. I want to say it. You know what? I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that I have that ability, because it would ruin things, and that sometimes that's fine. If here's what I will say: when I go to family gatherings now, I don't hold back if they say something dickish, if they say something, if they say something racist, if they say something homophobic, if they say something that's against blah blah blah, I will speak up. I won't be a dick about it, but they're the ones that were the dick, so I will speak up.
Yeah, good for you.
So,
That's good stuff.
But I'm definitely not going to instigate.
Good.
I'm going to be the one.
That's a good play. That's a good stance.
Yeah.
Typically in general.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah. Why be the instigator?
Yeah. Don't. There's no reason.
Unless it's something that needs to be addressed.
Or you're drunk. You know what? Either way, just go with whatever's happening.
But yeah, thankfully, this Thanksgiving in particular, I won't have to deal with any of that. So,
yeah.
That's something to be thankful for.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Dave's family is sane.
Yeah. That's a big thing to be thankful for. Yeah, you can say anything.
Yeah.
With your boyfriend's family.
Yeah.
You're in good shape.
Yeah, exactly. So
all right, kids. Well, we're thankful for all of you. Listening and tuning into us. You know who else I'm thankful for?
Who?
I am thankful for people who write into us. Podcast at thankgodimatheist.com. That's lovely when they do that.
Yeah, I guess I'm thankful for people who leave us voicemail messages.
Sure.
424-666-8442.
Yeah, go to the Facebook page and you can express thanks there. That's facebook.com/TGIA atheist.
Or head on over to that the TGIA members only lounge. It's also on Facebook. You have to join up though.
Yeah.
And then you're in.
And then we let you in.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Facebook, thanks. I'm very thankful now to Amy and Danny for their work as moderators, and to Mackenzie for her hard work on the Facebook page. She's amazing. I'm thankful for her.
And a big thanks, just in true gratitude, goes out to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their music, and to Gordon Johnston for the use of his music.
Yes! Thanks again to all of our donors, and thank you, dear friends, for tuning in.
Bye-bye.